what is your, not what the betting favorite, what do you think your favorite would be for Warriors round of elimination?
Well, I think let's assume that they're going to end up on the side of the bracket away from Denver and Phoenix at this point right now, right? So they're the 6th seed right now.
If Denver's the 1 and Phoenix is in the 4-5, that's what you're referring to.
Correct.
So they would be on the same side. Yeah.
So as of right now, Golden State would play Sacramento in the first round. So let's say that things hold serve, right?
Sure,
Golden State would play Sacramento. Golden State would definitely be favored in that series. And I would say, like, for our listeners and viewers, like, we can like the Kings. Mike Brown can win Coach of the Year. We can think the Kings are a great story. Who in the world is betting the Kings in that series against the? What would you need to bet Sacramento in that series against Steph Curry?
Mike Brown, right? Facing that team again? Yeah, that's actually like a really fun subplot.
It's awesome. And also, like, the Warriors would win the series. And let's say, and I actually have this, like, what do you think is the worst matchup for Memphis in a potential 2-7? Is it the Lakers? Is it Dallas? Is it Minnesota in a rematch of last year's, like, epic first round series, which was really good? But if it's Golden State and Memphis in the second round and Memphis has home court, like, I get it. Golden State's bad on the road. I'm never picking Memphis in that series. I think it's Western Conference Final. I think they lose to, like, Denver or Phoenix, basically, is where I land right now. I don't think they make the NBA Finals. Too bad on the road. But I do think they get there, Ken. If this is going to be the path, I would feel differently if things shook out differently with the seeds. I would say right now it's Western Conference Final for Golden State, the round of elimination. And that's even giving them a lot of credit for what they've accomplished over the course of this run. And, of course, being the defending NBA champs.
It was going to be Western Conference Final or second round. I was just kind of curious how you were thinking about it. If they play the Warriors in a playoff series and they have home court and the Warriors, everyone will be aware, as we are right now, of how bad the Warriors have been on the road. That'll be like a really interesting market. I mean, I would imagine the Warriors.
You're talking about the Grizzlies, right?
Grizzly, like Memphis hosts Golden State Western Conference semifinals. That's got to be an incredibly tiny separation between the teams in the market. Who would I favor? I guess Golden State, like, minus 140 or 50 maybe, or something like that. But it's really close. And that doesn't mean, because a lot of people are going to hear that and they're going to be like, well, the Warriors win every year, and be like, yeah, but, like, pedigree doesn't really get you anything in these markets sometimes, more than just, like, a little bit of a boost. Some of it's like, how did you actually play this year? And the pedigree is the only thing that's getting the Warriors favored in my market in the first place. I don't think the Grizzlies will ever be favored. It's just kind of like, I think the Warriors are only small favorites. And I think this sets up like one of those classic, like, team that was actually good in the regular season versus team that was kind of whatever, but the whatever team has a bunch of stars on it or has a big pedigree. So there's a big split. And I don't mean betting split like public sharp, where it's just people take each side really strongly. Like, they're really strong opinions. Like, well, the Warriors will figure it out. Will be the Warriors side of things. Like, this team's never lost a postseason series, basically, as constructed, not against, like, LeBron James or with everybody injured, like against Toronto. And then the Grizzlies side is like, well, like, through the balance of the season, they were much better. Like that, so it kind of be like those two things competing with each other. I think that would create maybe I'm wrong, maybe the Warriors would be bigger favorites, but not having home court, I have a hard time believing that. I think it's like Warriors really small favorite. Maybe even like, maybe I'm even exaggerating how big a favorite they'd be, and maybe it's like even almost. I don't know, something like that.
As you were like originally introducing the question, I was thinking like maybe Memphis would be like minus 120, Golden State like minus 110, something like that. And then I'm like, okay, like what would I do there? I would bet Golden State. If it were Golden State minus 120, what would I do? I would bet Golden State. So it's like, what's the point where I wouldn't bet the Warriors? Maybe like up to like minus 140. So maybe like Golden State minus 130. I think I'd bet
and
Golden
game
State
one would be in
130.
Memphis. So it kind of be like, when do
correct.
You want to bet it too, right? Like maybe you want to bet, maybe you literally play the home road, like play a zigzag. And it's like, well, I want to bet a lot of Memphis early, and then I want to try to like, not arbitrage because you're not doing it before the same game, but like with the idea that you don't even maybe want to hold your Memphis, you want to like trade it at some point for like Golden State. Like it's maybe there's ways to play both sides because and it's not the crazy thing about that series too, just thinking about it, is it's not just that the Warriors are so bad on the road. The Grizzlies are absolutely insane at home. Like that's the other thing about this, even when Ja didn't play. So just like, you couldn't imagine a bigger... Quickly? Yeah, go ahead.
Let me give the stat. Memphis 31-5 at home, to Ken's point. Golden State 9-29 on the road.
I mean, that's insane. So I guess like when the market opens, you might have people just grab Memphis, depending on what it opens at, obviously. But maybe that's like what the first bet is on, or the first move is, because you're just playing that angle where it's like, I don't even think Memphis is going to win, but like they're probably going to be up 1-0 or 2-0, like as we go through take off the games, basically, just because of those really, really, really strong home road trends that exist. So yeah, it's a fascinating series. I asked you that original question, what their round of elimination would be, because like I think it might just be like second round again or something. Like, why does it have to be the conference final? There's something about this team where they like seem like the next team that's going to like take a step forward, but like so did, like to a certain extent, like so did the Dame Blazers, and like so did the Nuggets for a couple, and so did Donovan Mitchell, Gobert, Utah, and like they always just kind of like got jammed in that second round. Like Mavs, Blazers made one conference final. Nuggets have played in a conference final. Jazz, I think, have played in the second round twice. I think they played. Did they play Golden State? They played Golden State at least once. So it's just kind of like, I don't know if Memphis has to make the conference finals. I guess that's kind of my point. I might make second round. It depends on what the path, like you said, and who's on each side of the bracket. So they're kind of interesting in that way. And then the Warriors are the other part of this. I don't know what the hell we're supposed to do with them. I mean, I really have no idea. I mean, I'm pretty perplexed about how to play them.
Was your question to me about Golden State or Memphis? The question you asked
it was about
me
Memphis.
about round of elimination.
It was about Memphis.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were saying about Golden State. I think Memphis
or maybe
is
it
going to
was
lose to
about
Golden State in the second round.
Was it? That was like 10 minutes ago. Was it Golden State?
I'm like 99% sure it was about Golden State. Just to be clear, I think Golden State will beat Memphis in the second round if they play. So Memphis, I have out in the second round. Golden State, I have out in the conference finals.
Conference finals. So
yes.
So well, let's play this out a little bit, because you said conference finals as the favorite. Golden State plays Denver. Bet in Denver?
Yes.
I didn't even tell you the price yet. You're just going to be in on Denver?
Well, no, not if it's like Denver minus. Denver minus, probably not.
Is Denver favored?
Yeah.
If Denver was like minus 150 and the Warriors were plus 130 in the conference finals, you would bet Denver, or you would not bet the series?
I would not bet the series. I would bet it game to game. I would need like a shorter price. What do you think
about Denver that just bothers me? I think Denver would be favored in the series. But you have to remember, Golden State will have won 2 series to get to that series. So maybe by the time we get there, everyone's way back in. Because like if they would have beaten Memphis to get there.
But
I mean,
Denver would have beaten Phoenix, right?
Sure. Or not. Or Phoenix loses the 4-5 to somebody because Durant never comes back. We don't really know how that plays out. But if
I guess there's a bunch of games left. I was going to say to the Paul George less Clippers, but we don't know how this is going to shake out in terms of seeding.
We just don't know the standings yet. And anybody who's followed the Western Conference knows it's incredibly clumped in that like 6 to 12 area, especially. And the Clippers are now part of that as well. Dallas is a part of that. The Warriors are still kind of a part of that. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to figure out a way to bet against the Warriors, I guess, in some situation. And I don't know what it's going to be, though. It's kind of like a paper tiger, right? Like, it's one thing to be like, I want to fade Xavier. And then it's like, okay, but they drew Kennesaw State and Pitt. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, okay, they win. Like, whatever. Like, good job, committee. And I almost feel like that with the Warriors, where it's like, it can't just be like fade. There's got to be like a situation that gets up, like Tennessee Duke, for example, to fade Duke. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's Phoenix, but Phoenix would be favored in the series. I don't know what the spot is to like step in and be like, here's where the Warriors get eliminated. I don't see them making the NBA finals, and I don't see them winning because the road record has been so predictive historically, but I don't know what the spot is to fade them.
What would the 90s alternative rock bands, the presidents of the United States of America, say about the state of teams in the Western Conference playoff picture?
They're clumped. They're clumped. They're clumped. Some might be dead.